Over the years I've been training, I've been asked many different questions from gym goers, but the one question that all beginners ask is, bro, how long should I rest between my sets? So today we're going to be looking at rest times between sets, and by the end of the video you'll know exactly how long you need to rest between your sets. So what is resting between your sets? Rest between sets is the time you take to pause and recover after finishing one set of an exercise before you start the next set. For example, you do 10 push-ups, that's set 1. You rest, usually by standing, sitting, walking or stretching for a set amount of time, like 30 seconds, a minute or 3 minutes. Then you do the next set of push-ups. Rest gives your muscles and your nervous system time to recover so you can perform well on the next set. The amount of rest you take affects your strength and performance in the next set, your muscle growth potential, your endurance and conditioning, and your level of fatigue during the workout. Resting is very important, but how important, it all depends on your goals, and this is where it can get more complex. This is because if you're training for strength or hypertrophy, these different types of goals will require different rest times. If you're training for strength, the sweet spot is 3 to 5 minutes at least between sets. Why? Well, when you're lifting heavy, usually between the 1 to 6 rep range, at 80 to 100% of your 1 rep max, your muscles, your nervous system and energy system, especially the ATP PC system, needs to be recovered so you can perform your next set with high power and proper form. If you cut your rest too short, your performance will drop off, meaning fewer quality reps, less strength gain, and this is even more important when doing heavy compounds like deadlifts, bench press or weighted pull-ups, since these exercises require multiple muscle groups being used during these lifts, which takes a lot more energy. Don't rush your sets for strength training. It's about heavy lifting with quality reps. If you're short on time, then I suggest you cut down the amount of working sets that you do. If you're training for hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, the sweet spot is 1 to 3 minutes of rest times between sets. And why is that? Well, this rest range keeps your muscles under enough metabolic stress and mechanical tension. These are the two big triggers for muscle growth. Shorter rest time makes your muscles work harder in a fatigue state, which encourages more muscle breakdown and more muscle growth once you recover. This is more useful for cable or machine exercises that target single or small muscle groups such as the biceps, while doing a bicep curl, for example. For compounds, around 3 minutes is enough to recover, as you are doing around 60 to 80% of your max. Most people talk about not resting enough, but resting too much can also hinder your progress. So what are the cons of resting too much? Reduce muscle growth. If you're training for size, resting too long lets your muscles fully recover, which lowers the metabolic stress that helps trigger muscle growth. Short rest keeps your muscles working in a slightly fatigued state, which is part of what forces them to grow and adapt. Loss of workout intensity. Long rest can cause your heart rate to drop too much, so the workout loses intensity, especially in a fat loss or endurance training, meaning fewer calories burned and less cardiovascular conditioning. Longer workout time. Taking too long of a break between each set can drag out your workouts very unnecessarily. If you rest too long between each set when it's not needed, your sessions can last twice as long, which isn't always practical. Less fatigue tolerance. Shorter rest trains your body to push through fatigue. If you always rest too long, your muscles won't adapt to performing well under partial fatigue, which is key for sports, endurance and some hypertrophy protocols. Momentum and focus break. Long rest can break your mental rhythm. You start to lose focus, motivation or get distracted. Short structured rest keeps you in the zone. On the flip side, resting too short is one of the biggest mistakes that people make, especially when they want fast results. So what are the cons of resting too short? Decreased strength on the next set. If you don't give your muscles enough time to recover, you won't be able to lift as heavy or perform as many reps on your next set, meaning lowering the quality of training and less strength progress over time. Bad form and higher injury risk. Fatigue sets faster when you rush. If you're too tired, your form usually breaks down a lot quicker, especially on compound lifts. That's where injuries happen. Less muscle growth if too light. If your muscles are still too tired, you might not apply enough mechanical tension, which is the key driver of hypertrophy. You want enough fatigue to stress the muscle, but not too much that your reps turn into half reps or failure too soon. Overstressing your heart and CNS. Short rest keeps your heart rate high, which is great for conditioning, but if you're trying to build muscle or strength, you'll be working against your goal and just tiring out your muscles and your nervous system. Less recovery, less progress. Muscle recovery happens between sets, not just your workouts. So if you rush your rest periods, you never let your body recharge its energy systems, so you can't perform well across multiple sets. So to summarize, you need to rest adequately according to your goals. So if it's for strength, you need to rest at least 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even longer if you're hitting a 1 to 3 rep max. And for hypertrophy, it's around 1 to 3 minutes depending on the exercises that you're doing. For example, compounds or isolation exercises such as weights or cables. A bonus is that you can rest intuitively between your sets. Now this is where you time your rest based on how you feel. So if you feel that you're rested, even though it's not for a specific amount of time, then that's okay. But just be aware that your body may or may not be able to perform the next set up to standard. So I hope you found the video very useful. Take what I'm saying with consideration into your next training session. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.